Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to a first full flight video on my channel. It's kind of a tutorial, I guess. I'll put tutorial in the title. We're flying the 777 Worldliner today. Link in the description. I got it on sale from xplane.org. It was on sale during around beginning of October and the end of September 2018. If you're watching this video a couple days after I posted this video, it'll probably still be on sale, so a link in the description if you want to buy it and you can save a bunch of money. Anyway, I'll be moderating until our departure, and we will skip to the top of the descent, and I'll show you guys how it all works here in the 777. Anyway, let's get straight into it. Guys, we had a little glitch with the master caution. I reloaded the aircraft. I made a quick cut there. First thing I want to do, open this door right here. Very important, otherwise the fuel won't load. I had to learn that the painful way. Alright, you want to turn custom failures off. Real time, I'll leave that on. Hide yokes if you want to have the yokes or not. That's your own opinion. Real limits, I'll turn that off. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes, because I still fly on mouse and keyboard, I haven't bought a yoke yet. So sometimes I accidentally press something, so I'll turn, and that might make the plane nosedive, and I don't want to accidentally crash, so I turn that off. Doors manual, I'll set that first. Stairs, fuel truck, passenger, bus, and shocks can all come. And the number of passengers, I'll set that to 150. You need a flight plan for this, of course. Cargo weight, we'll set to 10 tons. APU time, just set to 15 minutes. It doesn't really matter. I set it to 15 minutes both times. And takeoff fuel, very important. You cannot reload fuel in the air like on the default aircraft, like the 737 or 747. So if you don't have enough fuel, you're gonna run out of fuel, and you cannot refuel in the air. So I definitely recommend setting this, and the online flight planner provides you with how much fuel you need. So 550,000 pounds it says here, and I'll go to see how much that is in or was it 55,000? I don't know. That's 55,000, right? Or that's 550. I don't know. But this number right here is, what is that in metric? 250. All right. If you don't want to convert, you can just do that. 250. Is that overweight? That should do it. All right. And you press load fuel, and it'll only work if this door right here is open, and you'll wait for that to load all the way, and I'll say fully loaded, and you'll be good to go on fuel. We'll wait for that to do its thing. Alrighty, it took a long time. It took like a minute to load all the fuel. Don't worry, it'll say plane loaded, and you'll be good to go. Close the menu there. So guys, the first thing you want to do is of course turn the battery on. That's the number one thing. Turn the APU on to start. There you have that. APU gen on. You gotta disengage the master caution warning. But there you have the APU gen. Disengage the master caution right there. Dero, turn that on. Thrust sim comp. Let's see where that is. Looking for it right now. Sorry for the little wait. Where is it at? There it is. Turn that on. Left and right bus ties on. And right main and the left main also on. Window heat, turn all four of those on. Hydraulic right and left engine on. And of course the seatbelt signs, a good time to do the seatbelt signs is now. In the cargo aircraft you won't need those, but you can still do it. Yeah, turn the engine EEC mode on to norm. You have to flip those switches up and turn them to norm. Auto start. Turn auto start on. The lights, just set whatever you want. Beacon, wing. I don't turn the wing on until we're on the taxiway yet. Landing lights, I keep those off until we're on the runway. The anti-ices, turn them all to auto, and you'll be good to go with that. recirc fans, upper, lower. And do those right there. The packs, those have to go to auto, I believe. Yep, packs to auto. And all those switches can come on, all 6 of those. The trim air and the bleed, all 6 of the bleed, those are the ones I was talking about. And the first thing I want to do in the FMS or FMC is to do the reference import, set that, and I'll select that coordinate and put that to your position, and it will activate, and then the IRS will do its thing after the timer. There's a timer, it takes like 5 minutes, and then the map will actually work. So you want to press root, and that's like the default FMS. That's how you get to that menu. You select your origin, your arrival airport. We're flying to Manila today, which is Romeo Papa Lima Lima. I'll put that in real quick. There you have that. Put it to destination. Flight number really does not matter. Runway, I have a plugin called Airport Navigator, and it shows me a whole map of the airfield, and it helps me a lot. And I just choose the nearest runway, which is 25 right in this case. So I'm going to type that in real quick and put that to runway. And like I said, flight number doesn't matter. I just always do the same. Oscar Echo Lima Alpha Lima. We'll just leave it today. Press activate and then execute, and now you can see 420 minutes or minutes and seconds for the IRS to align, and then the map will work. So then to your next waypoint, you can see 25 right. The waypoint is in there. So you're gonna go to departure and arrival. You can see the runway is already selected. You can select your star. The star is your standard, your SID, which is your standard instrument departure. You're going to select the one you want. And I recommend if the runway is on the activated leg to go at least 1 or 2 up. Because if I have the runway activated, the plane will try to always fly back off the runway. I don't know why it does that, but I recommend just doing that. Yeah, next up, you want to just continue your flight plan and enter all of those. You can see there are lakes. That's the SID that is put in. Our next waypoint is skate. We're doing a direct to skate. Oh, there are several waypoints. Just clear that because I don't know which one it is, so I'm gonna have to do a new one for that one. Let me look at my flight plan real quick to see what is the next waypoint is. Noman is the next one. I'm going to direct to that waypoint. The Alpha 461 Airway. If you guys don't know how to use the FMC, I can do a separate tutorial on that, but I'm kind of going into it on here. This is the FMC or MCD you use for most of the payload aircraft. And I can do an in-depth tutorial on the FMC if you guys want that. Just let me know in the comments, alright? That airway to CIA, which is a VOR. Next page, as we have more waypoints to do. But always click execute, and then your flight plan will actually activate, Oh, and that's already the arrival actually. Then select your arrival. I use Airport Navigator again to take a look at what's it called? The map of your arrival airport. You can type in the ICAO code of that airport, and it'll show you the map, which is really cool. It helps me so much. So underrated, the plugin. I really do recommend. So it'll be your landing on a 06. That should do. We'll select ILS. I believe you have to select the stars first. Or VOR is not as a star. Yeah, you have to select the star first and then the runway. Otherwise, if you select the runway first, it won't work. It worked in this case. Now, one more thing. Go back to legs and check that there are no discontinuities. We have 2 in this case. just click the one before the discontinuity, move it up to the discontinuity, and then press execute. We'll do that one with that other one right there. And you can check the flight plan looks good to go. Make sure the flight doesn't look like it's 3,000 nautical miles between a certain waypoint, because it entered false or select the wrong waypoint. That's happened before, and it's only a 600-mile flight, so that's kind of suspicious. So you can just change that. Next, you go to perf init. Set the cruise altitude to your cruise. We're doing a flight level 340 today. Thrust limit, we don't really need that. I mean, you can do it, but I really don't care for that. It's just more time, and I don't really need it. So I'll go straight to takeoff, alright? Flaps, I like to take off with flaps 5 in the 777, and it'll give you the V speeds, which is very helpful. So when the rotate, when the V1, V2 is, press request, and it'll give you the other one, and other number, I don't know what it does, but just do that, and it'll give you that if you need it, but you can also go without that. So there you have your FMC ready to go. You can see the IRS has just aligned after that timer, which means the map is all now working. That's the part right at the beginning, as I showed you guys, where you have to select the coordinates and put them to your current position. We're going to configure the autopilot now. I'm going to go to flight level 340. Takes a little while to get there, but it takes a long time to click, you know. We can't set the vertical speed yet. We're going to go 240 knots after departure. I'll turn the flight directors on and the auto throttles. Yeah, you can't select them on the ground yet. Yeah, there goes the flight director. Yeah, that'll be it for the autopilot pretty much. Look at the aircraft from the exterior. It does look very nice. And then you go back to, because we're ready to push, so you can remove the stairs, fuel trucks, and put the doors from manual off. Just remove all the chocks and all that stuff. And you'll be good to go for now. And we're pretty much ready to push. I have that glitch where the emergency door opens. I don't know why it does that. But to close that door before you push, it would help very much if the door is closed before you move. Just in case. Just so no passengers fall out. You know, it would help. Back to the cockpit. Those are all the fuel pumps. Turn those on. The packs that you turned on, turn those back off, alright? We want to turn those off for engine start. I do not have better pushback engaged yet, but I moved PCs. I went from a Mac to Windows, so I haven't got all the plugins yet. But in this aircraft, if you don't have the brake engaged, the parking brake, trust me, this aircraft rolls, okay? It is powerful. So you want to have that parking brake on all times, because otherwise this thing will just, you have no control over it, alright? So, for the ground handling menu, you have to have the brake off, so you just turn that off real quick. Turn the hydraulic C1 and C2 leg on. In just a second, not yet though. That's after engine start. Now you're going to slide that to start, the engine start, and you'll see it'll be firing up. As we're pushing back, you want the N2 to hit 12, which is the bottom digit, and select the cutoff switch, pull that up. I have trouble pulling that switch up, that certain switch. I had to be in the default view, alright? I don't know why. But you have to just press W on your keyboard, and then I could use it. And there you can see that engine is starting up. And that'll be it for the first engine. You repeat that for the second engine. You turn that to start. And you wait for the N2 to hit 14, which is that number I just showed. That screen at the bottom between the two MCDUs/FMCs. Wait for that to hit 12 or 14, whatever I just said. And then, yeah, slide it back up. And that engine will ignite, which means it will have fuel in it, so it will run. The displays will splash, what do you call it? Flash, I guess, and then you know that the engine will be running up. Yeah, you just wait for that to do its thing. You have to go all the way back there, alright, and turn that to norm, I believe is the setting, or just to the middle one. I just remembered it. I have my own custom checklist. I wrote it down as the middle setting. Alright, just turn that to the middle setting. It's on the left setting from the way you look back. Turn it to the middle. I don't know what it does. And then turn the C1 and C2 electric hydraulic on, and turn the sliders, the turn thing of those, the C1 and C2. Just turn those to auto also, and you'll have hydraulics. Alright, I hope you guys are understanding it so far. The reason I'm doing a voiceover. At the beginning wasn't a voiceover, but I accidentally unplugged my mic in the middle of the video. So this is a voiceover, right? I'm not used to doing these. I just turn the fasten seatbelt signs on. The packs can come back off. Turn the APU off and the APU bleed, as we do not need those now that we have the engines running. Then the flaps to 5 for takeoff, and you'll be good to go. The auto brake to RTO. Let's see what else if I go to my checklist. Yeah, we already set the pressurization to auto. Very important, alright? I already said it in the video, but the pressurization is very important. I'll meet you guys once we're at the runway. Peace out. So guys, here we are on the runway. Turn the landing lights on, alright? Runway turn off lights, turn those on. Taxis, I'll turn those off. Strobes on. Leave all those wing lights, all those on. And then you'll be ready to fire up the engines. Turn those up. I like to make the map closer so I can see a little better. It takes a little while for the engines to speed up, but it will do its thing, and you'll see the airspeed is alive. This seems a little strange because it's a voiceover, but yeah, it's the best I could do to save this video. I had a lot of stress doing it already. We'll press that because I don't have a joystick or a yoke yet, and we'll rotate. And we'll pull the gear up. I went back to that default view right there. It's kind of low. That's where I like to go up a little bit. Gauge the autopilot, the auto throttle, vertical speed, and LNAV. And I like to have the vertical speed at 3,000. And the plane will fly it for you. It will fly the route and everything for you. There's the master caution warning. It's because we're overspeeding. You can click it. It won't go away. It will only go away once the problem is solved. Alright, so once you're not overspeeding anymore, that's when it will go away. The autopilot and the auto throttle, set those again. And the LNAV means the plane will fly the route for you. It won't fly the altitude for you. That's what the vertical speed does. That's 3,100. I'll set that back to 3,000. That means the plane will climb at a vertical speed of 3,000 to the altitude of 34,000 feet. That's what that means. And it's like any other Boeing autopilot. If you know other aircraft, it's just like other Boeing aircraft. I didn't have to watch any tutorial about the autopilot, and it really wasn't that difficult if you know your Boeings, alright? Very stunning departure here out of Hong Kong. This aircraft does have a cabin. You can take a look through it. There's actually a glitch to get a ring view without a view plugin. You have to go to the second door, I believe, and both the left and right doors will work, and you can just move right through it, and then there you have a ring view. Kind of glitchy, but if you look right, you won't see that, and you have a nice, perfect wing view. That's one of the glitches I like about this aircraft, alright? It's not often that I say that I like glitches, alright? Yeah, very, very nice. Engines. Back to the cockpit now. You can see the plane is flying. The route for us is spanking left. Just following our flight plan. You can see the engines are holding 240 knots. At the beginning, the throttle is going to be going up and down a lot, but that's normal. Make sure to retract those flaps, and then you'll be good to go. I really do like this aircraft, alright? Very, very pleasant to fly. I'll catch you guys later once we're at the next important step. And now that we're over 10,000 feet, I like to turn the landing lights and all that stuff off. Over 10,000, that's when you're supposed to turn the landing lights and all that stuff off. I'll speed up to around 315 and between 300. Because sometimes if you're a little faster than that, the plane can't really handle the vertical speeds correctly. So I like to stay around there, and the plane will fly everything for you correctly. And I think that was an aircraft carrier down there. That was while I was zooming at it. It looked kind of interesting. So yeah, I keep the speed between 300 and 315 knots at during climb, actually. So yeah, that is pretty much it for now. I'll be going back to the next important clip in just a second, guys. I hope you've been enjoying the video so far. So using a glitch with the outside exterior view, I went to the outside and you can see what's all rendered like behind the walls and stuff, like behind the doors. Like there you can see the whole cabin. You can see for economy class. It's even more economy, I believe, and there's business class and first class. And then there's the cockpit with the gear. I think this is kind of a cool view to see like what's behind all the stuff to see. You can kind of see in one view what's all rendered. So yeah, the gear looks pretty nice. Nose gear, and there should be the rear gear back there too. But yeah, pretty cool, guys. I just wanted to show you that. So as we are at cruise altitude now, I'd just like to let you guys know what I think of the Flightfactor 777. If you should buy it or not, I'll just let you guys know in this around 2-minute section of the video. So as you can see, the 777 does look very nice. Alright, you can get a bunch of liveries on the forum site. It costs $60, I believe, off sale at just the Worldliner, which is the 777-200. LR or ER, I don't know. They're both the same aircraft. One just has more fuel capacity. So I got 4 of these aircraft. It was the 777 bundle, I believe, on xplan.org. And I must say it is very much worth it. You get 4 aircraft, but theoretically it's only 3. Let me tell you why. Because you get the 777-300, the 777 freighter, which is 2, but then you get the 777-200 normal version, 1 in the ER, 1 in the LR. The ER just has shorter capacity, and the LR has more fuel, so it's basically just, I mean, they brand it as 4 aircraft, but they're basically the same aircraft, alright? The one just has more fuel. One can fly like 15 hours, one can fly 10. So I would say that if you buy just the 777, it's not worth it. It's totally not worth it. But if you get the bundle, even if it's on sale or off sale, I got it on sale. It was like, what was it? It was like $60, 4 aircraft or 3. I mean, that's like $20 an aircraft. These are high quality products, so it's very much worth it if you get the bundle. But if you only want to buy one, it's a lot asking for just one aircraft. So I would get the bundle if you want to get the 777. It's not going to be like the Flightfactor 767, which is just amazing. But I mean, this aircraft is very old, alright? It's not new at all. But don't expect it to be like the Flightfactor 767 at all. But it's very nice to fly. Don't get that wrong. So yeah, it's very beautiful. You can get a bunch of liveries on the forum site. Yeah. Hope you guys have been enjoying the video so far. If you're new, please do subscribe to the channel. And if you're not new, or if you're new, like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you, guys. I would appreciate it. So guys, we're around our top of the descent into Manila. So at night, this aircraft does just have lights default, but you have light settings right here, and they're really cool because you can adjust how dim and bright all the stuff is, which is really cool. I really do like this feature. And you have more settings on the overhead panel. I'll get into depth about the lights a little bit more, but here you got a little demograph. And the more you have the lights on, the less you can see outside. So I try to find like the middle of what I like, so I can still see the stuff around me outside. All right, I'm gonna start our descent now, down to 11,000 feet, which is an altitude I like to descend down to. It works for me. We'll set the vertical speed at around 1500. This depends for you, really. How much you're going to descend. There you have the seatbelt signs. I'm going to turn those back on. And you can see the plane will start its descent just as it's supposed to. I love the autopilot feature. It's a very, very nice aircraft to fly, trust me. Everything should be doing what it's supposed to. It will be flying the LNAV and the vertical speed, guys. You can't really see much outside, so yeah. Let's skip to the next part, alright? So guys, I just found that you can actually adjust how much light is in the cabin. I just found that feature actually, so if you open the cabin, you'll see how it is right now. Not too bright out, but you can turn that up, and you'll see how much lighter it got. I mean, it's kind of a cool feature. I just noticed that they added that. I think it's kind of cool, just so you guys know. And you have more features up there. You have like the master bright and all that stuff. Yeah, I really do like the lighting system on this aircraft. So guys, here we are now. About to fly right over Manila Airport. I believe we're gonna fly right over the airport, fly out over the sea, do a 360 and fly the inbound runway 06. I believe that is the plan, but I'm not sure yet. We'll set all the lights, configure them. I don't know how you say it, but I'm gonna say configure them right now. Some of the lights are still loading in back there, but if it's loaded in, it looks really, really nice. I do very much like X-Plane over Infinite Flight. And that should be the airport over there. I think if we were flying right over it, that's what the flight plan looks like. I want to go down to 5,000 because that's what the FPL says. It says 5,000 or above, so we'll go straight down to 5,000. All right. Speed 240 should do. And I'll arm the speed brakes, or I'll extract them actually. I have a keyboard shortcut, or you can just drag them out. Sometimes it's hard, but I just use the keyboard shortcut. You can just go to your settings and create shortcuts. It's really helpful. Now we're going to take a look at the outside. It does look very, very nice. And sorry if the graphics aren't that great. It's all my recording, OBS. I think I had the recording settings on a little too low, so I do apologize for that. Next full flight video will hopefully be higher quality. You can see that the speed brakes are extended there, and you should get a caution there. Yeah, it does show the speed brakes are extended. It says we should be at 5,000 above for that waypoint, so we're going down to 5,000 right there. I hope that makes sense. There's the airport. We're going to fly right over that and fly right, do a 360, and come back, land 06. Excuse me. A burp. And if you guys do enjoy these uncut videos, they're pretty much uncut. They're not exactly raw, but I have to make a few cuts here and there. But not much editing. If you guys do enjoy these, let me know in the comments. It's kind of like my live streams, but more organized in a way, I guess. I'm just roaming around the cockpit at the moment. You can see the auto throttle is doing its thing. I'm just playing around with the speed brakes at the moment. We're almost at 5,000, just where we're supposed to be. And set the auto brake to max, alright? There's not much to do in the descent, except do the auto brake. Now, I have trouble with the ILS in this aircraft. I've not been able to get the ILS to work. It's the approach mode, so I like to fly GPS approaches, which doesn't for me. I can only really fly this aircraft in good visibility settings, but that's also fine. I only really like to fly in low visibility in aircraft that I master, such as like the default aircraft, which aren't that hard to learn, compared to these para aircraft, which are more complex. Yeah, there you can see downtown Manila right there, Indonesia. Yeah. And this very nice Cathay Pacific One World livery for the 777-300ER, made from Flightfactor. If you guys want more tutorials like this, just drop a like. how I said it like a million times, but it's a voiceover, and so I don't, voiceovers are kind of strange for me. I'm not used to them. I'm trying to just fill the gaps, not just, there to be awkward silence. So, yeah, you can see we're approaching Manila on the map. Yeah, I tried to get the ILS to work, and you have to go to the airport, press T nav 1, nav 2, but I don't think it works like that. I don't think it works. On the default aircraft, it does work, but I pressed 0.09, and the frequency wouldn't go in here. I couldn't find it, so I don't know. I don't think you can do it like that, because you can't really go to can't go to your X-plane settings and adjust weight and balance. You can only do it through the in-plane menu. You can do it on the default, but not on the payroll. So I think you have to go find like a chart and find the frequency and manually put it in the aircraft. I believe that is how it works. But if you go to the map and press Q, nav 1, nav 2, I don't think it will work if you press approach. I think you have to find a chart and find the frequency probably and put it in manually. Yeah. We're just turning right over the airport. Yeah, and the flight plan shows we're going to be doing a 360 at the end. Jakarta is looking very nice. You can see the runway that we'll be landing on right there underneath us. Again, I apologize if the quality isn't that great. And next video, hopefully, it will be better. Alright. We're down to 3,000 feet now, or 2,500 actually. Yeah, 2,500 feet with a vertical speed of 1,200. Speed down to 200 knots. We're just at the top of the cloud layer right now. Don't want to get into that. We won't anyway because we're descending. Everything's looking good on the aircraft so far. There's not much to do really, except set the flaps and just fly it in by yourself. Really, that's not much to it. There's not much to it. The only real thing that takes a long time is the startup. Otherwise, flying aircraft aren't that. There's not much to do. An X-plane, if you don't have any ATC or VATSIM, or any of that stuff. The caution warning, I believe that was for the speed brakes. Yeah, that was for the speed brakes. Yeah, you can see that we are going to be doing a 360. It's a little late in the day, the time of this voiceover, so I apologize for my English. It's not great. Alright. I catch myself stuttering too much. Yeah. And that's the flap limit, so you can see at what speed you gotta be at what speed you gotta be at what flap lever, if that makes sense. So if you're like 200 knots, you can check that flight limit, this flap limit, and you can see what's nearest to 200 knots. Or if they're 200 knots at the exact setting, then set the flap to that where it's supposed to be. All right, I hope that does make sense, guys. That caution warning is for the overspeed, either the overspeed or the gear. All right, in this case, it was both. It's a very annoying warning. When I was recording this video, I actually didn't know what it was for. But on that little, where the engines are showing its input or output data, I guess, and how strong they're going, I'll show you what's red. That's the stuff you gotta fix. One of them was I had to put the gear down, and one was the overspeed. I thought it was only the overspeed, but then I noticed a little bit later that it was actually the gear down. So I apologize for that loud warning. You have to stick with that for a little bit longer, guys, until I figure out in this warning that I had to put the gear down. And I was checking the info, and it was the gear. And you see, as the gear went down, the warning stopped. There, the warning stopped then. Alright, it was the gear. So I apologize you had to hear that. In this video, in the recording, I tried to do the ILS, but it didn't really work. So don't hear me on this, alright? Don't do what I did in the recording. You don't have to do much to the aircraft. Just fly it in by yourself. Alright, just make sure you have the speed brakes armed, the flaps are set, and you're good to go. Alright, that's all you have to do. I tried to use the approach, but it didn't work. The plane wasn't doing what it was supposed to, and I just did a manual approach. I apologize for the, the big blob on the screen for when you activate the yoke. There is one glitch though in this aircraft, however. When you are approaching, I cannot get the autopilot to disconnect. Alright, it was a simple way to fix the autopilot not disconnecting is to make a keyboard shortcut. I made this A. Sorry about the overspeed warning again, guys. I apologize for that. But the autopilot was not disconnecting for me. I had a bunch of issues with that. Alright. A way to do it is you go to your settings and go to keyboard shortcuts, and I would go to just type in the search bar Autopilot Disconnect, and you'll find that up and press on it and press A on your keyboard, and it'll make the keyboard shortcut for you. And then when you press A, the autopilot will disconnect. It will disconnect. Because when I tried to disconnect the autopilot, I used the keyboard shortcut, and it worked. Again, sorry for the master caution warning. It was the overspeed. Yeah, here I paused the sim. I don't know why I did it. Again, it's a voiceover, so I'm doing this voiceover like a day and a half later after recording. Because the recording was like at 10 p.m. So I didn't have time to do the voiceover. I'm turning left towards 06, there you can see. We're not overspeeding anymore, so there goes the warning. Manila looking very, very nice. I recommend flying into this airport or flying this exact route. Actually, very, very nice. Even flying at night in this airport, lighting is very good for night flying. So you can't go wrong here. We were a little low in this video, so try not to be as low when you're approaching this aircraft. I have a tendency to be low in the 777. And that RAAS Runway Advisory System you just heard is a plugin. You can install that from the forum site, Explain Forums or forums.explain or something like that. And it's the XROS plugin. And it will tell you what runway you're approaching and all that stuff. It's very cool. Very, very nice. We're approaching over the water right now, over a highway. We're a little low, so try not to be as low as I said already. And in the video, the reversers did not spoil, and this, so that was a problem. I believe I just didn't really press the right keyboard shortcut for the reversers to spoil, or the reversers to reverse, or to toggle, I guess. So try to not forget to toggle the reversers, because I did not in the recording, but we still did get down. We're kind of fast, so I flared really early. And it was a pretty good landing. I was very much satisfied with it. There you can hear it. You can hear it when you're down. Put the nose down. And just decelerate, brakes, and try to toggle the reversers and the spoilers. But I don't know. They didn't do their job in this video. I don't know why. I was getting a little confused. All right, but we did actually decelerate and vacate. Yeah, we were good, so try to not forget the reversers, as I said. You will make it even if you don't use the reversers, but, it's kind of necessary to use the reversers. And here you can hear the XRAS doing its thing, saying 3,000 feet remaining. We'll expedite right at the end in very nice Manila Airport, alright? Once you're on the ground, you want to start the APU. I didn't do it in the recording, alright. Turn the landing lights off once you're off the runway. I did it kind of early, but I had no traffic, so I just turned them off kind of early because no one really cares in X-Plane. Unless you're on Batsim, then I would only turn them off once you're off the runway, actually. But I forgot to start the APU, alright. So I started the APU at the gate, but you don't want to do that. You want to start the APU as soon as you're on the ground. On the taxiway is probably the best. Just turn the APU on, turn the APU bleed on, and then you'll be good to go. When you turn the engines, you have power, because if you don't have the APU on, you won't have any power, alright? So you should now, when you're expediting, I as in the recording, I would turn the APU on right now. Just don't forget to do that, guys. I apologize, the voiceover is kind of crazy. Next video hopefully will not be like this, alright? But you can see the taxi light's doing its thing. Manila is very well lighted. We'll just taxi to the gate. And we'll be good to go. I'll tell you guys the shutdown procedure. I mean, the shutdown procedure is just the opposite of startup pretty much. I mean, also not that complicated. I mean, if you know how to start it up, you can probably just shut it down. And shutdown actually doesn't matter that much because you pretty much completed the flight already. Yeah. You can't really see much of the aircraft at night. This is the best of it. But that's the master bright switch. It adjusts the overall lighting in your aircraft, like everything, which is really cool. If you don't want to configure everything single-handedly, you can just use that and it'll adjust everything in one for you. I didn't actually you're crossing your runway right here, so just in case you're flying into Manila on VATSIM, just make sure to clear with the controller, because the ex-Ross told me that that's the runway. I'm like, oh crap, that's the runway. So if you're on VATSIM, just letting you guys know, watch out, alright? Don't want to get banned. Just helping you dudes out, dudes and girls, alright? Because you never know who my audience is. I didn't have X-Life, the plugin, yet, so it's actually just the default AI in X-Plane. That's a United 747. We'll pull into the gate right next to him. I like the sound when you taxi in this thing. It seems very realistic. I've never flown a 777 in my real life before, but still, it does sound realistic. Definitely sounds better than the default aircraft. Excuse me. I'm burping a lot in this video. Sorry, guys. Now, I will be doing an in-depth review of the Avro and the Magnite 787. Because I wanna get the 787 soon, even though it's a very bad aircraft. But it's stunning from the outside, so I really, the quality wings in P3D, kind of want that in X-Plane. But which won't be as nice as other pair aircraft, but it's not a very high price, so I do plan on getting the 787, such as the Avro RJ 85 and 100. We'll slowly park. Right there, we'll set the parking brake, and you're good to go, alright? First thing I do, turn the engines off. That's the number one thing. I turned the APU on after I turned the engines off. I didn't turn the engines off yet. Here I noticed I didn't have the APU on, so I started the APU there. That's the procedure. You turn that to start and the APU bleed on, which is by the packs. That's the procedure. Just don't do that process, but on the taxiway, not the gate. I also have trouble turning the engines off, alright? It just depends on your view. I don't know why that's so glitchy. Those two knobs. You can see me trying to turn the engines off, but no, it's not working. There, we turn the first engine off. You hear the flight computer doing something. You set same thing with the other engine, and yeah, turn the caution warning off. You're good to go with that. Your aircraft will still have power as the APU is running. So first thing, seatbelt signs off. Anti-ice, turn those two off. Beacon nav, and I turn all the lights off because you're at the gate. You can probably leave the beacon on until you're actually fully shut down. Just depends on your liking, really. The hydraulic C1 and C2's off. Left main and right main. Bus ties all off. The battery, don't turn those off yet. thrust sim comp off, is Adiru off, window heat all off, engine EEC mode to alternate, engine start to norm. No, actually they're already in norm. Ignore what I just said there. Equip cooling. Don't touch that. Leave that on auto. Actually, the packs, turn those off. Trim air off, and all the bleed air, turn all those off except the APU. Pressurization, you can turn those off too, and all the fuel pumps as well. And I went to the button all the way back there. I don't even know what it does, but I watched another person's tutorial. It was German. It was a different language, so yeah, I'm kind of helping you guys out with this aircraft in English on my own channel. There it is. It's the cargo temp select. Turn it to off. All right. From after low, turn it to off. All right. That's pretty much it. Then you can turn the APU off, and you're good to go. With this aircraft, you have successfully started and shut it down. So props to you if you managed to do it using my setup. It gets it done for me. And it's not supposed to be the professional way to do it, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna leave you with some nice shots of the landing now, and then you can turn the battery off. The last step. Yeah, like I said, I'll drop you guys with some nice shots of the landing. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope to see you in the next one. Please subscribe if you're new. Peace out. Have a nice day, and see you guys later.